for joining me today. I am Paige the Framer, and this is my podcast about the crafty and creative things that I do throughout the week. I own Frame and Fiber. It is a picture framing, yarn, and fabric shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And so a lot of this podcast is based around the things that I do there. You'll see projects from just what I'm knitting, crocheting, spinning, or weaving, which ties in the fiber part of my business. And then you'll also, once in a while, see the picture framing that I'm doing. And thrown in there, you'll find some hiking, some cat videos. Paul Miller, he's always making an appearance. That's my husband. So it's a mishmash of things, but again, even doing this podcast is just part of my creative outlet. I really enjoy putting it together and doing the editing, so I hope you enjoy it too. So welcome if this is your first time visiting with me. I hope you enjoy. If you would like to connect with me some more, I am on Instagram as PaigeTheFramer and also on Ravelry as PaigeTheFramer. I'm not that active on Ravelry, so the best place to get in touch with me would be Instagram. A few other things that I want to mention about my social media platforms, or the social media platforms that I use. I do use Facebook for my business, so you can connect with me there. It's Frame and Fiber. And then I have a group on Frame and Fiber called F&F Knit Nights. And that is where you can connect with me and some of my virtual friends. We do a virtual knit night together. That is the second Thursday of every month, and we use the Zoom platform to do that. But if you'd like more information about joining one of our virtual knit nights and just hanging out for a couple hours and knitting with us on our computers, you can request to join the F&F Knit Nights on Facebook. There's a question there for you to answer, and then feel free to join and check in with us. It's a good time. So that's one thing, the virtual knit nights. And then also I have an Etsy shop, and it's called Frame and Fiber NJ. That's where you can connect and purchase anything that I make or sell. So on Etsy, you'll find my fabric wrapped mats that I do. I'll put a picture in here. You will also find a lot of the commercial yarns that I sell in my shop, and some picture framing supplies as well. So check out my Etsy shop if you are so inclined. If I talk about any yarns on this podcast that are not on my Etsy shop, please feel free to send me a message about those yarns and we can chat about it. So events to be aware of if you're local. I have the New Jersey Wool Walk coming up the end of April 19th through the 22nd. There will be a bunch of things happening at the shop, including raffles and trunk shows and special colorways by different indie dyers, and a couple designers stopping in with their patterns and designs for you to see. So if you are local, please check out the New Jersey Wool Walk and participate. I do have more information at my shop, and so if you do need info about that and you're not sure what it entails, please send me a message, either Instagram, comment below, that kind of a thing. So get in touch with me somehow through all the social media, and I can answer any questions you have about the New Jersey Wool Walk. All right, so I think we're done with all of that, and I think we can hop right into the content of the video. So the first up is my finished objects. I will be talking to you about a picture frame and a shawl. I hope you like it. Hey, pals. All right, so I'm here to talk about a finished object. I'm so excited. I have been a bit MIA from social media. I go through these phases, or not phases, I guess I go through spurts. Spurts is a good word, right? Where I'm really diligent with taking pictures and posting them and being connected, and then I go a week without posting anything. So I was originally posting a lot about this piece, and then it kind of just fizzled out, but my knitting didn't fizzle out. Okay, so this is my shawl by Elizabeth, I always say that, Isabel Kramer. It's the Girl's Best Friend shawl. Wait till you see this. I'm going slow for dramatic effect. Is that too slow? It's probably too slow. I'm such a geek. So I'm really excited and happy about the way this project turned out. So many things to tell you about it. Let's see where to start. Number one, I'm 99% positive, 99% sure that I didn't make a single mistake on this project. And that might be the first time ever. I always, you know, get to a point in the project where I'm like, oh, I'm off a stitch. Let me throw in a stitch here. Oh, too many stitches. Let me do, you know, I don't really, mistakes don't generally hold me up from a project unless it's, you know, something huge, like it's 4 inches bigger than it's supposed to be and it's supposed to fit me well. But yeah, I don't know what it was about this project, but it was just so intuitive and so well written. And of course she gives you, did I say what pattern this is? It's the Girl's Best Friend by Isabel Kramer, if I didn't say that. But you know, there's the stitch count at the end of each row, or at least each section. So it was just a real fun knit. I know I've said this before, and I think, Tina, you cracked me up when you were like, knit me one, but I would knit this again and again and again. So the first section is fairly straightforward. You just have sections or stripes of stockinette and seed stitch. Is it seed stitch or moss stitch? I forget. And it just goes through the section. It's a garter ridge cast on. It's pretty straightforward triangle. And then you get to your stripe here, and then you go into your, oh my gosh, into the teardrop section. Teardrop? Yes, teardrop. It was really fun to knit these little babies. So they're 5-in-1 stitches. So it is a lot of flipping your needle back and forth, but oh my gosh. Really fun. I will say by the time, so you start it there and then you interrupt it with a stripe and then you continue. And so you can see how this section is just 3 repeats of the eyelet, I keep saying eyelet, teardrop, and then this is, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a lot bigger, and then of course it's also a lot longer because you're continually increasing. So I will say that I was happy to see it end once I got there. That said, if this were part of a panel of a sweater, it would be no problem. It would be so much fun to do. So then you go into another stripe, and then you go into your stockinette, and then the flippin' baubles. So a few people that I have been kind of following who have been making this project along with me, or at least at the same time as me, opted to skip the bauble, and I can see why. So the baubles are at one of the biggest part of the shawl, right? It's close to the end. And I think they're like 7 stitches apart, but the whole turn to make the bauble kind of almost killed me. Just a little bit. I do like them. I'm glad I did them. It's just 1 row of baubles, so it's not that much of a killer, but and then it's just into the 1x3 rib. So the yarn that I used is Backyard Fiberworks in their American Wool line, their 2016 Cormo. I don't think it's available anymore. I think they sold out of it. It's limited quantities each year. So it is lovely to feel. It's so squishy soft. It's a light fingering. I would say this is lighter than a lot of the other, almost a lace. So I think I used a US 4 to make this, which I think is what the pattern called for. If that's not correct, I will change it. It'll be written somewhere on here. But because my yarn, I think, was a little bit smaller gauge of a yarn, it's a little bit looser. It's a little bit more open than what I've seen other, I saw Helen of the Crafty Toads podcast. I saw hers in person, and hers was really squishy and gorgeous. She made it out of their Toad Hollow yarn. And so it wasn't as open as this. Like, you can kind of see me through this. But I don't mind. It really drapes lovely because of that. And then, of course, I did the pom-poms. I was debating through the whole thing if I was going to do the pom-poms, but I had a bunch of yarn left. So I think my pom-poms are really big compared to what I've seen out there, but they're just fun. I was only going to do the one, and then I thought, oh, maybe I'll just do it on each point, but I just did what Isabel Kramer did, because really, why change it when you love it, when I loved it that much? So yeah, this is an incredible knit. And like I said, I can't believe that I didn't make a single mistake. Like, I feel like I should get an award. Let me step back so you can see the whole thing, or at least slide my chair back. It's honking huge! So yeah, it's lovely like this. It fits so nice. There we go. There you can see it. So, really pretty. And I think a lot of people who have seen me, you know, in person, I always joke that it reminds me of the Washington Redskins. But now that it's finished and I'm wearing it, it doesn't really remind me of that anymore. And I really like the contrast. It's not my comfort zone, which is funny because when I bought this yarn, I originally bought enough, like I still have a whole full skein of the gray left. And I bought this yarn to make a sweater. And it didn't seem like it was out of my comfort zone because this gray and this burgundy color really are colors that speak to me. But this like crazy green, yellowy green, limey, chartreusey color, yeah, that's out of my comfort zone. I mean, for instance, my comfort zone is what I'm wearing right now, right? Oh yeah, what am I wearing? This was my Rhinebeck sweater that I made this year. This, I think you guys have seen this. I think I've shown you this. Stand back. There we go. It's my 2017 Rhinebeck sweater. It is made out of Cascade Eco Cloud. It's a merino and alpaca blend. And so this color, oh, and it's the pattern is by Jennifer Wood. It's called the Evelyn cardigan. This is my comfort. I'm really into black, gray, and neutrals. So for me to pick these colors, I stepped out of my comfort zone. So if you're looking for a fun, never bored kind of a pattern, I highly recommend it. So that's my finished object for the week. I don't think I will have anything else. No, I won't have anything else finished. I am working on, well, I'll show you things in my work in progress segment. So that's my FO segment. I hope you liked it because I love it. Some of my most favorite projects to frame are medals and ribbons, photographs of our servicemen and women. This one that I'm working on now is from World War II. And I think, if I am remembering, because I'm at this point I've framed so many of these, I kind of mix people up sometimes, but I think this is his dad. My customer is framing this. This was his dad's stuff. So let me just show you. It's a finished object because, no, it is a finished object, although you're seeing it as a work in progress, just because if I put it in the box, which I'll show you, the glass, the glare kind of ruins, like you can't see through the glare. So this is the piece. I am really pleased with the way this came out. And the funny thing is I didn't lay this out. So his mom had framed or had taken what she could use at home. So she had this photograph, this frame and this frame. And she had both of these in here. She didn't have them mounted well, so I did all the mounting and I redid the backer board on this one, and I secured them in their frames better. But I just think it's cool that, and this is basically how she had it laid out. You know, this wasn't in a mat, it was just kind of taped down, but it was what she had and what she was able to do. So he brought it in to me and wanted to know if I could, you know, do it properly, have it framed so everything was secure and laid out in, you know, a nice manner. So I changed things around a little bit the way they're laid out, but other than that, this is pretty much how his mom had framed it for his dad. So yeah, how cool is this? I love this photograph especially. Look how cute that is. I have definitely, I always put photographs in, and usually it's more of a serious nature of the photograph. And so his mom had just taped everything down or glued everything down. They were glued down, which I had to kind of deal with. But in the frame, this is what it'll look like. And again, this is the original frame his mom had. So I just took it apart and put it back together in a way that was much more stable, and I think he's going to be really happy because they were attached to a soft cork board, and the cork board was bowing really badly. So it's nice and stable. So I love doing memorial boxes. I just absolutely enjoy them. They're never the same thing, even if, you know, even if, like, for instance, this is the European ribbon, and he's got the Asia Pacific ribbon, and he's got the, I forget what this one is, but he was a rifle marksman, so, like, I see them a lot. Like, I've seen a lot of these, obviously the Purple Heart, but it's never the same thing twice, and they're very special. I love just all of the, I like that it's not just a piece of, you know, it's not a poster to match a color scheme in their house, but it's something that's really, I don't know, it's just worthwhile, and it makes it fun, keeps it interesting. So I hope you like it. I hope he likes it. I think you will. Okay, so next up are my works in progress. I have a shawl and a picture framing project to show you, so enjoy. So let's talk about my recent cast on. I just cast this on over the weekend. It is, of course, in a Daisy Lane bag, Daisy Lane Designs bag, a DLD bag. Let me show you her little daisy. That's Allison. You've seen Allison here before. Anyway, I have cast on, it's called the Markanda Shawl. Where's the front? Oh, I haven't taken very good care of the paper. It's pretty ugly and wrinkly. So this is the shawl that I've cast on. By Simone of Owlcat Designs. It's a really pretty mosaic knit. So this is the first time I am doing a mosaic knitting pattern. It is so much fun. I had no idea. It never really kind of crossed my radar or something that I had to do, but Simone is coming to my shop for the Wool Walk to have a trunk show with her designs. Pardon. And I really wanted to have a brand new Cat design piece in the shop. So I picked this one because, and I picked it because it's a 4-color shawl, and I had bought, and it's using a DK weight yarn, or sport weight, now I can't remember, maybe it's sport. But back in September, Seashore Sharon and I went to the Knitting Pipeline Retreat in Kennebunkport, Maine, and we visited Knitwit, the frame shop in Portland, yarn shop, and I bought a ton of chickadee. So actually I bought 4 colors of chickadee. I shouldn't even say I bought a ton. I bought these 4 colors. Oops. Those 4 colors. Which, when I got to the Knitting Pipeline Retreat, Paula gives us a gift for going to the retreat, and it's a bag of yarn. And in my bag, which was really cool, was chickadee, which I had just bought at Knitwit, in this color. So I had built-in sweater quantity. So originally I was like, oh, let me do a sweater. And again, just because I didn't really have any idea of what I wanted to do, and because I wanted to do an Cat design shawl, I changed the purpose of this yarn from sweater to shawl. So all of that said, loving, if you haven't worked with chickadee from Quince Co, you should definitely get yourself some because it is so squishy, soft, but not squishy soft in a limp sort of fuzzy way. It is 100% American wool, non-superwash, but it feels like a superwash. It's so, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like it's super plump. I guess that's a good word for it. And I just love it. So get yourself some Quince chickadee if you haven't already. Also, if you're local to me, you should write an email to Quince and tell them that they should sell their yarn here. So we can all have it all the time. All right, so this pattern is super fun, and mosaic knitting is so, oh my gosh, so easy. Like the whole just one color at a time, slipping the stitches or picking them up, it's so much fun. So I cast on with the shell color. Oh, I didn't tell you the colors. So shell, peacoat, clay. Let's see if I can do this. Haha. And leek. Can you see that? Yes, I'm holding it so. Those are the colors, and they're fabulous together. And I'm having fun. However, I am on to, oh, so you start with these 3 bands, which are the same motif, and you're just repeating it with the different color with the contrasts right here. I don't know what I'm saying. That didn't make any sense. But then I got to the mosaic band that's in the pattern, and it called for these 2 colors. And although looking at it on the screen, it's not terrible, I don't think there's enough contrast. So I'm going to be ripping out. And also, I have a lot more. I only have 1 skein of each of the colors. I have 4 skeins of the shell. So because I have a lot of that one color and not a lot of the others, and the pattern calls for some of the other color sections, I need a little bit more yardage than what I have. But if I change this, and instead of doing the clay here, I do the shell straight through, it will, I think, give me enough of the yarn to do the whole thing without the whole project without having to order some more colors for, or, you know, any more skeins from Quince. So that said, I might rip back even more. Okay, this is why. Because of my color scheme. So here we have Simone's colors, and clearly she designed this with these colors in mind, so they all work brilliantly. But because of my need for I need to conserve yarn, I'm going to rip back. I think I'm going to rip all the way back to here. Those two colors look great together. It's so contrasty, so perfect. But because I need to conserve yarn, and I wouldn't mind trying to, so I have enough yarn overall yardage wise, and so it would be kind of cool if I could figure out how to just use the yarn that I have. So I know this is crazy, and I know you're probably like, why are you going to rip back that far? Because that's a good six inches of knitting. But if I knit back, or if I rip out back to here and then just do the shell, see how I have the shell as the little square and then the clay is the background, I guess that's what we'll call it. If I do that here where the green is the shell and then the background is the green, and then this, instead of going back to the clay, I use the blue and just do the blue here, then I'll have the three contrasting colors that I'm using each in a line. And then when I get to here, instead of doing the clay and the green together, if I do the green and the shell together here, I think that'll save me. Like, I definitely won't need to get more green. The only thing I might have to get more of is this, because then when I get to the mosaic band down here will be the blue and the clay together. So I might need more clay or I might need more blue. But then I thought what I could do when I get down to the mosaic band, which, where's the picture again? So I thought what I could do is, see how this is the darker here and then the lighter there? I thought, what if I was going to draw this out on a piece of graph paper and see if I couldn't make it work with three colors. So if I could make it work with three colors, I might be able to just have those three together. So will it work? I have no idea, but I will attempt it. I mean, I'm not opposed to buying more of this yarn. It's not like it's a big deal. I'll definitely use it, but that's what I'm doing. So am I crazy? Do you think it's insane to rip back all the way back to here? What do you think? I think I'll really like it better if I rip it back. I'm ripping it back. I'm doing it. So this week on the framing counter, I have a really cool project that I wanted to share with you guys. If you check out my Instagram account, PaigeTheFramer on Instagram, you'll see a picture of the beginnings of this project, and hopefully, if I pay attention enough during the week while I'm working on it, more pictures of the progress. but I thought it would be fun to show you the before, so then I'll show you the after next week. This is a map of Ocean County, and he is framing, oops, sorry, I just dropped the camera. So he's framing this for his dad, or strike that, no, he brought in this map to frame for his dad, and we're just framing it as is for his dad. But when we were talking, I had said I thought it would be kind of cool if the way this is done, each town has its own spot, its own square, its own rectangle. So I thought it would be kind of cool if we cut this and framed each one individually and then hung it on his wall that way, and he was all for it. So he photocopied this and then brought this, so this is the copy, not the original that we're cutting, and it's going to look really cool. There are 20 maps all together, and they're going in these frames, which are really pretty. Oh, doesn't want to focus. There we go. Which I think, I don't know, it's kind of fitting. This one is Seaside Park. Where's Seaside Park? Oh, Seaside Park. Okay, so right there is how it's going to sit in the frame, and it's just a simple white mat. So that's that. That's my work in progress on the framing counter. It's going to be fun. That's Jamie. You hate me.
No comment.
No comment. Yes. Very cool. So next up, I'm going to share with you some goodies that will be for sale during the Wool Walk. I have 3 podcasts scheduled between now and the Wool Walk, and so I'm going to break up a lot of what I'm offering for sale during the Wool Walk, and for some of the, sorry, I reached forward, the cat is being a little bit crazy. I'm using his cat condo for a tripod. So yeah, I'm going to be breaking up a lot of that content just because there's a lot, unless of course I forget to record one of these weeks, and then I'll just do a whole thing on the Wool Walk. But anyway, up next is some special yarn that I want to share with you. Hey guys, so the New Jersey Wool Walk is happening very soon. Today is April, what is today? April 2nd. Today is April 2nd, and the Wool Walk is April 19th through the 20th. I have the passports here, so if you guys are local and wanting to participate, you can stop in and pick up your passport here, and you can pick up your tote bag. So that's exciting. There's lots of events happening during the Wool Walk, and for the next couple weeks I'll kind of talk about a few of them. I'm not going to bombard you with all of it at once, but I do want to show you. I'm very excited. So one of the companies that I'm featuring for the Wool Walk is Legacy Fiber Arts, and Sue and Chelsea dyed up some colorways for me and sent me a big old box of yarns, and so I wanted to show you what came in. Okay, so besides a big box of their fingering weight yarns, they sent me some cozy toes and some steel toes, besides, and beautiful colorways, gorgeous. You'll see them if you stop in, but besides that, they sent me some of their new chunky base, their bulky base I should say, and some sock sets. So let me show you some of the colors that came in for those. So right here we've got the chunky base. Let me turn that around so you can see that one better. And I love that the colors all work together, so if you wanted to pair them for a project you could. And then sock sets, which are just so great. So they are, it's 100 gram skein, 100 gram hanks with total. So it's an 80 main and a 20 mini. And they sent them in these colorways. So we've got most famous Kirk. Everyone loves Kirk. So this sock set is here. the mare with, oh my gosh, look at that orange. So fabulous. Kirk has the turquoise, although in that light it looks blue. And then we have Miss Lily P. And she's got, this looks turquoise on the camera, but really in real life it's more of a green that matches the speckle, the green speckle in Miss Lily P. So we've got that. And then their other colorway, which I have never seen this one in person, but now that I have, I might have to order a ton more of this. It's saltwater taffy, and it's so stinking pretty with that magenta toe. So I love it. You have your choice of toes with the coordinating colorways. It's really cool. And then, oh, I didn't show you, Kirk came in the bulky weight too. Okay, but what am I most excited about is my custom colorway that Sue dyed up for just special for me and for the wool walk. And this will only be available through my shop, and I forget for how long. Once, it's not forever. Like eventually you'll be able to order this through Sue and Chelsea, I believe. I hope I'm not making that up, but it's exclusive with me for a while. So this is called Sea Glass, and when Sue and I talked about doing a custom colorway for the shop that I could debut during the wool walk, we were on the phone chatting about it, and I said that I wanted a beachy base or a beachy colorway, and that I wanted the base to be, the actual base to be on an off-white, almost sandy color base. So you can see here that it's not a bright white. And for me, that was just the only request that I had for my colorway. And then the rest was just Sue coming up with the colors. And so it's so pretty. The blues on the sandy base are just so pretty. I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, they seem really rich. So there you go. Again, my color of my foam doesn't really do them the justice that they deserve. But that's the custom colorway for Frame and Fiber for the wool walk. Again, it's called Sea Glass, and I'm super excited about it. And this is, I think I got it on steel toes. So it's on their steel toe base. It's a merino nylon. It's a 4-ply. 75-25? Yeah, 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. And I kind of chose that base. I feel like it's a little bit more of a kind of jack of all trades sort of a base. You can do pretty much anything with it. So shawls and socks. So there you go. I have some other colorways that I think would look really pretty with this in like a fade or in a 3-color shawl, 3-color cowl. I'm very excited. I don't know if you can tell. Super excited. So these will be available, my custom colorway, and the sock sets. I'm just going to hug them all. These will all be available during the wool walk. So that's when I'm going to be putting them out for that weekend, April 19th through the 22nd. If I do have any legacy left over, I will then, like, especially because the Sea Glass, you guys can't get it anywhere but through me. So I will definitely let you know if there's any left over from the event, and if there is, you can contact me and I might be able to ship it out to you depending on if there's any left. Yay! Thank you so much, Sue and Chelsea, because seriously, I'm super excited about the wool walk and having Legacy Fiber Arts here. Thanks! Yeah, so I'm really excited about the wool walk. More info to come, and like I said before, get in touch with me if you have any questions. So in this next section is just a bit of video I took during the week. You know, of course, some cats, some Paul Miller, Easter Sunday with my family. So enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. Sometimes it's not the cats. Sometimes it's Paul Miller.
Those are not just peanuts, those are other.
I'm here with Amo and Dana Misso. This is my family. We're having fancy Easter. Fancy Easter! Fancy Easter.
You have patience.
Miller loves doing it. That's the difference. I forgot to take pictures of my dinner, but at least you get dessert. I'm Paul Miller.
I'm your dessert.
Guys, look how cute he is. Amo and Dana got a delicious. What did you get?
Creme brulee.
Yes, creme brulee. Oh, you guys look pretty with little flowers in the corner. Amo through the flowers. All right, so that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining and for hanging out with me. Yeah, thanks so much. I really don't have much more to add other than please subscribe to my channel and like this video because those thumbs up help my channel get seen. And as always, to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks. Have a good week. Bye. Yarn and ooh, cat, don't jump. I'm using my cat's condo for my tripod today. Stay down. Oh my gosh! Cats! Guys. Kim, calm down. Go over some events that are going to be happening soon at the shop. Hey. Cats are wild today. Do it if you're going to do it, man. Jump. Go on. Get up there. Bubba. As soon as I let go of his phone, you're going to jump. Okay, so... Jerk face. Paul Miller's home from work.
Where is my tin?
Your dinner's in the fridge!
Yeah?
Yeah?
I'm thinking all our old outdoor furniture to the curb.
Oh, to the curb?
To the curb.
Really? Yeah, you're
Someone screaming over your video. Hi, people. Alright, we can talk later. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's all good. Bubba.
You gotta share it.
Yeah, he's trying to get me with his little paws. You dog. The cat.
That's what I was going to use a cat.
Yeah, I shouldn't use a cat tree for... Okay, so let's do that one over. Strike that. Back to the... Go back, Paige. Go back to right before you start talking about this, right when the pom-poms left and you were laughing. Okay, strike all of that.